Eraserhead's AO3, or A Guide on How Not to Seduce Your Best Friend, written by nomumomo, read by Yours Pranks. Chapter 7, Trust in Your Senpai. Summary, in which Shouta gets a little help from his friend. This is your reminder that this series has suggestive content. However, in this chapter, there isn't any. So, enjoy! Alright, Mr. Mysterious. What's up? Nomuri asked as soon as they were alone. Shouta handed her a cup of coffee. They didn't have time during their mutual free period to go off campus for a decent brew, so he had grabbed a couple cups from the break room. He double-checked that the door to the empty classroom was closed. I need advice. Nomuri settled on the teacher's desk, sitting on top with one leg crossed over the other. On? Shouta knew that he would have to tell her how he felt if he wanted her to help him, but he had never told anyone before. He didn't know what to expect. What? You're in love with a slayer? Midnight whipped her hand to stare at Eraser, mouth agape. Behind you. Eraser's knife hit the charging demon in the eye, felling it before it reached her. Witch, you heard me the first time. That sure explains all of the brooding and lurking. Have you told Mike? The demon roared and exploded back onto its feet. Eraser leapt to meet it. Midnight stepped aside, from where Eraser and the demon grappled. Don't tell me the big bad vampire's scared. It's simple, she said. She waited for the right moment and lobbed an orb of magical fire at the demon's head. The creature crumbled to ash. Just tell him how you really feel. Fictional Nomuri always seemed to have the right advice, and real Nomuri was one of the smartest, savviest people he knew. She had known him and his Zanshi since high school. If anyone was going to help, it was her. Once she understood the situation. Finally, he answered her. I need advice. Planning. Oh, another undercover mission? Undercover mission? Ha! Wouldn't that be an easy out? Shouta was sure he could make up a story about an undercover mission on the spot. It didn't hurt that he had the plots to at least 3 undercover copy-yous rattling around in his mind. It would certainly be easier than telling her about his real feelings. Midnight. Eraserhead rasped, throat raw from thirst, and from the screams even he couldn't hold in. If you get out of this alive, you have to tell Mike. Midnight struggled against the rope tying her to the chair. Don't say that. We're both getting out of here. Eraser didn't bother struggling against his bonds. Not anymore. Please, you have to tell him. Tell him what? That I'm in love with him. He coughed, breaking up fresh clumps of clotted blood. He had to pant to catch his breath before he could speak again. I'm sorry that I never told him how I really feel. Shouta sighed. Procrastination, it was true, had gotten him nowhere. No, it's a personal thing. Nomuri stared at him for a long moment. Then she clapped her hands and squealed. Shut up. If you say what I think you're gonna say, you beautiful man, you can't hold it against me when I kiss you. I think you may have misunderstood me. She laughed. I'm going to kiss you, and it's going to be out of holy platonic joy when you finally tell me. Shouta made the mistake of picking that moment to take a sip of coffee. That you're finally asking Hazashi out. And down the wrong pipe it went. It took a full minute to cough the hot drink out of his lungs. How? He croaked. For an underground hero, hun, you are not very subtle. She took a delicate sip. You're less obvious than Zashi, at least. I'll give you that. Certainly, Shota's understanding of human anatomy was off, because they seemed to have inhaled coffee into his ears, too. Sorry, what? Honestly, sometimes, I wondered if you two weren't already in a relationship, and just kept it secret. I mean, when you moved in together, it was 50-50 that you secretly got married. She tapped her long nails on the wooden desktop. I was kinda pissed that you didn't even tell me about it. Nomuri always teased Shouta about his close friendship with Hazashi. She had for years. Her weird jokes about their relationship had long ago faded into background noise, but this was different from her usual quips. He cleared his throat. Nem, what are you talking about? Don't worry, I got over it. No, I mean... She was gonna make him say it, wasn't she? Fuck. He was still reeling from how casually she just revealed that she knew about his own feelings. And now she was acting like, well, he really hoped she wouldn't laugh at him. But he had to ask, because it almost sounded like, are you saying that Azashi has feelings for me? Nemuri didn't laugh. Instead, she frowned. You know, you really are a funny guy, she said, a furrow formed between her perfectly groomed brows. I almost thought you were serious there. Shouta held her gaze. Really? He gave a half shrug. For fuck's sake, Sho. Please answer my question. He makes you lunches with little cat onigiri. Hope rose in Shota's chest. He swallowed it back down. Don't joke with me about this. You really don't know? Nem. Okay. She hopped off the desk and started pacing. That explains a lot, actually. Just to be clear, that's a yes. She stopped and faced him. Shouta, honey, my sweet little cowhide. Hazashi's crush on you is visible from space. Hazashi's crush on you. Hazashi's crush on you. It's not like he hadn't considered the possibility before, especially recently. That buoyant hope was back. He couldn't keep it down. I'm going to suspend my disbelief that you two aren't secretly married. You're not, right? Okay, no need to glare at me. I'm going to suspend my disbelief and guess that you want me to help you plan the confession. Long after the front lights had been lowered, at Chocolaterie de Nuit, two figures worked under a warm gaslight in the back kitchen. I'm not a schoolboy on Valentine's Day, Eraser grumbled. Clearly, they know a lot more about romance than you do, Midnight said. Hand me the cocoa powder. He peeked over her shoulder as she stirred the cocoa into the simmering pot. Do you really think Michael likes this? A little extra sweetness never hurts. But what he'll really like. She swiped a bit of the melted chocolate from the side of the pot and dabbed it on his nose. Is you finally telling him how you really feel. All of his own ideas had been ridiculous. He was never good at this thing, and he was beginning to think that his reading had only made the situation worse. Shouta was eager to have some sensible advice. Yes, please. Nemuri's heels clacked on the linoleum floor as she started pacing again. You know Hisashi, she said. He likes spectacle, pizzazz. Whatever you do, it's gotta be big, flashy. Well, fuck. Shouta ducked his face into his capture weapon and mumbled. I thought you were gonna say something like, just tell him how you really feel. No, that's no fun. You've made him wait this long. It's gotta be something good. Shouta would rather get a back massage from Shigaraki than be part of any kind of spectacle. But this was for Hisashi. He sighed and resigned himself to his flashy, spectacular fate. If that was what would make Hisashi happy, Shouta knew he would do it 10 times over, with sequins on. This is gonna be so much fun, she continued. I'll need some time to think of something good. It seemed Shouta had omitted a key detail. I'm kind of on a timeline. He picked at the edge of his styrofoam cup. He's going to a gala with some hot date in 2 days, and I'm worried. To his surprise, the woman barked out a laugh. Shouta, that's perfect. What? The gala. Her grin sharpened. I'm his hot date. Platonic, of course. He didn't ask you because he knows you hate things like that. Oh. Relief washed over him. Not as much as I did 10 seconds ago. He could almost laugh. He was so relieved. I do have some time to figure this out then. Are you kidding me? I can't believe I didn't think of it earlier. It's all figured out now. I'll find some excuse to dip, and you can swoop in and be his date. It's perfect. This was all happening very fast. Numuri knew him well enough to see that he was retreating. She sat down at the desk next to him. Look, Shou, that place is gonna be Romance City. I know you don't like that kind of stuff, but when is an opportunity like this gonna come around again? She had a point. Do I have to dress up? Black tie, baby. Shouta groaned. Ugh. That's the beauty of it, though. It'll be worth the effort. You'll both look so handsome that there's no way he's gonna be able to keep out of your pants. The capture weapon wasn't enough to hide his rising blush. Never fear, baby boy. It's gonna be perfect. She leaned over and placed a kiss on his cheek. Mwah. Your rom-com fairy godmother senpai is here to take good care of you. Time until the gala was short, so Numuri took him shopping that same day, after classes let out. Shouta felt a little guilty, lying to Hisashi about why he would be home late. He claimed he needed to do a walkthrough of Ground Gamma before next week's exercises. But this was for him, after all, so he's supposed it balanced out. Numuri brought them to a boutique within walking distance of campus. It was the kind of upscale place where you feel like you're being watched at all times. Not necessarily reassuring for an underground hero. Shouta pulled the first black jacket he saw off of the rack. Here, I found it. Let's go. Numuri put it back. Nuh-uh. We're going full Prince Charming. It's got to be perfect. She and the tailor picked out a few different tuxedos for him to try on. Having put up his token resistance and failed, Shouta accepted their choices and trudged obediently into the changing room. He pulled the curtain closed and started putting on the first one. As he buttoned up his shirt, Shouta noticed Numuri's feet on the other side of the curtain. She was probably on her phone while she waited for him to get dressed, and there was a question that had been bothering him all afternoon. With the curtain between them now, talking was easier. Now, if you knew we liked each other, why didn't you say anything? Are you kidding? I've been working on you two for years. Well, until recently. After I came to the conclusion that it was humanly impossible for you not to know. And, not be secretly married or something. Working on... Back in high school, remember all the study dates I set up for the three of us? And then bailed on at the last minute? Or the trips to the cat cafe? Shouta stuck his head out from behind the curtain to give her a flat look. The sparring sessions? It didn't seem even a little suspicious that I was constantly leaving you two alone together. I just thought you were a flake. She crossed her arms. Let me see the first one. Shouta slipped on the jacket and stepped out. She looked him up and down. How about the fact that, to this day, I call you two husbands? You've never once corrected me. Do a little turn there for me. Shouta shuffled around in a half-hearted twirl. He had secretly liked that one, the husbands thing, even if he never understood what she meant by it. You say a lot of strange things. You're impossible. And those pants make your hips look weird. Try on the next one. Shouta dutifully went back in and changed into the next selection. All of the tuxes looked the same to him, but Numuri seemed to think that this was an important decision. Numuri, he said, trying to figure out which way was up on the cummerbund. If I wasn't able to tell that Hisashi likes me when you say it's so obvious, then how did you think I would be able to pick up your hints that he liked me? She paused. You know what? That's a good point. Shouta gave up on the baffling strip of fabric and just put on the next jacket. He stepped out of the changing room. A slow, predatory smirk spread across Numuri's face. Well, not even Hisashi is going to be able to miss this hint. You look amazing. Shouta looked himself over in the mirror. Do you suppose he did look good? He hoped Hisashi would think the same. Alright, let's go get you measured for alterations. Alterations would mean I'm buying. If you wear it even twice, it'll be worth the money. Trust me, she said. Shouta was unconvinced. And, Hisashi won't let you wear a tracksuit to your wedding. Midnight straightened Eraser's tie and dabbed a tear from her eye. I'm so happy for you two. You've come so far. Eraser hugged his friend. Thanks for being there for us along the way. When he met Mike at the altar, the blonde started tearing up too. Not sure how I should feel, Eraser said, about everyone getting so choked up, just seeing me in tailored clothes. Mike laughed. He was wearing a white tux, his hair in a low chignon, woven with flowers. You know you're always beautiful to me. He took Eraser's hands. And now, I'm gonna be with you forever. Fine. After what felt like an eternity, the tailor finished. Nomuri was satisfied, and they made their purchase. Shouta paid for the tux, an exorbitant amount for a piece of fabric, thank you. And Nomuri added a little extra for the guarantee that the alterations would be done by Sunday morning. They said their goodbyes. As Shouta walked off towards his apartment, he couldn't quite push down the buoyant feeling in his chest. When Shouta returned home that evening, Hisashi was cooking dinner. Classic rock, and the aroma of Shota's favorite curry filled the apartment. Hisashi was at the stove. He had changed into running shorts and an ancient band t-shirt, and he was dancing a bit while he worked. With the loud music, it seemed he hadn't noticed Shouta come in. Shouta patted over and stopped just behind him. Hisashi's shower-wet hair was piled high on his head, leaving his neck exposed. It would be so easy, he thought, to wrap his arms around that waist and kiss his way around that neck. Instead, he looked over Hisashi's shoulder at the golden, simmering curry. Looks good. Hisashi startled and turned, his face almost colliding with Shota's. Sho, I didn't hear you come in. A spot of sauce had splashed up onto Hisashi's cheek. Overcome with what could only be temporary insanity, Shouta brushed the sauce off with his thumb. He tasted it. It is good. How was Ground Gamma? Shouta was pleased to see a touch of that stupid expression on Hisashi's face again. And he wasn't even shirtless this time. Maybe Nomuri was right after all. Good, he murmured. That's good, Hisashi whispered. His glasses, the cute red boxy pair that he only wore at home, were fogging up from the steam. Shouta took them off of his face and set them carefully down on the counter. Dark eyes met green. Shouta started. Waiting days to tell Hisashi was suddenly too much. He didn't want to wait. He wanted to confess. To tell Hisashi that no one mattered more. That it had always been him. Hisashi, He didn't pass out. Hisashi didn't run away. No phones blasted sudden pop songs. Shouta would tell him all of it. Would spill his heart right now. In their plain little kitchen. Right. After a long day of work. On a completely ordinary night. There were dirty dishes in the sink. He didn't even know if his breath was okay. I appreciate you cooking dinner. I can't wait to have some. Shouta didn't wait for Hisashi to reply. He left to take an unnecessary shower to distance himself until dinner was ready. Hold on, I just immediately need to preface this. I am so sorry for my French. Chocolaterie de minuit. Chocolaterie. Chocolate. 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 Chocolat. Minuit. Minuit. Chocolaterie de minuit. De minuit. I'm gonna say chocolaterie de minuit. De minuit. That's chocolaterie de minuit. That's what we're gonna go with. Two figures worked on warm gas light. Gaslight gatekeep girl boss. Hold on, I'm protesting the pronunciation of this word. Shingnong? Like the most annoying pronunciation. Shingnong? Shingnong. Shingnong. Oh my god, it sounds Asian. That's crazy. To distance himself. to distance himself. Oh, it is sweet. He was so ready to confess. It was such a cute moment. It could have been it. But he's like, no, I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna woo you so hard, man. You won't even know what's coming. That was very sweet. I'm very excited to read the next chapter. And I hope you're as excited as I am. Of course, thank you so much for listening to this podfic. And I will see you when I do. Toodaloo!